Hi there, how are you all going? I hope all is good. I just wanted to talk today regarding the foreign policy issues within the world and how they impact on Australian foreign policy. So, to start with, you must have realized, and you must think about it if you have not, is that the only beneficiary of the Second World War was USA, United States of America, because they were totally far away from the war. They could not be impacted by anyone in those days in a war situation, being in a geographical condition which had which gave them immunity of any aggression. Now, with that war, their industries went up and up from the war industry to the farming industry to the economic industry had a great impact. Basically the half of most of the world was started relying on them. They did help a lot of countries. They looked after a few countries, but the end story is always this, that you look after your own benefit first when you're trying to give help to others. There's an old saying, burn light a lamp in your house before you start putting the lights outside for others. That has happened. Now, since the Second World War, things have changed. Countries have become more dependent on US for the aids. But in last 20 years or so, because of the constraints, aggression of United States of America on everyone else, there is a time now to look at your own foreign policies, especially in Australia. In the Second World War, there are incidents where USA and UK did not come to provide adequate help to Australians. Although Australia came in picture because of the need of the allies, which is US and West Europe. The war took place in a way that US needed help from Australia rather than Australia needing help from them. Australia went to war in every country, wherever, whether they were asked or not by the US and Western countries. In those days, Russia was the cold superpower on the other side, and China and everyone else were under serious constraints of bans and trades and all that. Things have changed now in last 20 years. China, with all the constraint, has developed itself in a major superpower. If not number one or two, it's definitely number three. And it'll be number one in another 2 decades, I think so. This is the time that Australia has to think its own foreign policy. Why they are fully allied with US and not anyone else. Australia wants it or not, but China will keep going greater and greater. They have done their economic feasibility and benefits on their own strength. And where trades are concerned, Basically, 60% or more than that of the world economy is dependent on Chinese production. And hence, they have created an influence all around, especially in Asia and Pacific area. They are looking to look after their own securities and economical benefits. Just what America did with its might after the Second World War. They built up their naval bases and depots in around 65 countries. China is just following them. Although they are not that successful, but their influence can be seen. This is the time that Australia has to think, do we have the great trading partnership with China and still be allied with United States of America in all type of aggression, war type aggression? This is about time Australia needs to investigate and create a new paradigm shift towards China. China will and definitely wants the influence in the world politics because they have got the economic power now. So they might succeed. Australia has to think again. Australia needs some kind of understanding with China which provides them the security. Although Australia has never said openly that they are worried that China might invade them one day. But the fact remains that Australia is very worried about it, and hence they are doing AUKUS and all kind of things with United States and UK. This is about time that China should be thinking how to deal with Australia because they are still a middle class or middle section of the world power situation. Since Australia is in a similar geographical conditions than than United States of America. But with the changing of geopolitical and the technological developments, Australia has to think what to do. The best would be that Australia should talk to China about some kind of a pact by which they agree that they will come to help to each other if there is if there is aggression on them. That pact has to be understood, has to be created with mutual understanding between China and Australia.